uh, 228, March 1st, 2017. After playing a lot with Chairgun Pro and Strelok apps on my cell phone and with different pellets and stuff, after crunching a lot of data, playing with a lot of numbers, now since I kind of knew that I was up to something, I came up with a system, so to speak, of putting together range cards that could be put together with or for different guns and different pellets at different joules of energy, different grains of weight, but in a way that instead of ending up with a range card like this, here we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 meters, and here we have 0, 30, etc., etc. degrees of angles. At first, my range cards used to look something like this, and here there should be numbers as well. A number of very, very random numbers with no apparent pattern that one could kind of memorize or have in mind, kind of like an intuitive way of memorizing these numbers or having it. So for every single shot, even at shorter distances, you would have to refer to this range card and basically lose those precious moments before shooting, oftentimes spooking the birds. But then I came up with something that every air gun shooter could or should do in their range cards. It's not at all a one-size-fits-all kind of solution, but it's very similar to that in the sense that you could have a range card that could be put together for every single gun and pellet with an intuitive way of memorizing the numbers and everything, so that it would kind of eliminate the need to refer to the range card for every single shot. And that is by zeroing my gun at around 27, 28 meters, I could have the same amount of hold under here and with the amount of hold over here. In other words, when I zero my gun at like 27, 28 meters, it is going to shoot a little higher here and a little lower here, but the same amount, like for example 5 millimeters higher here and 5 millimeters lower here. And that is done or achieved by not zeroing the gun at 25, but at around 26, 27, 28 meters. So if you do that, given the fact that most of your shots are around 20 to 30, at least in this setup, in the forest and stuff like that with ordinary air guns, you could just assume that if you're shooting directly at something in this range of 20 to 30, maybe even a little further and a little shorter as well, you just aim at the target and shoot. And that's that. If you're shooting at 30 degrees of angle with this particular pellet, all you would have to do would be to have a hold under of 1 centimeters. This could vary for different guns and pellets, but there would be a pattern. Here I have 0, -1, 2, 3, 4. For another gun with different energy or different pellets weight, it could probably be something like, I don't know, 0, -2, -5, -8, or 0, -1, -3, -5. But there is a pattern that could very, very easily be kept in mind, intuitively, that is. So this is it. If you're shooting directly, you just hold on target. If you're shooting a little higher or lower, then -1 or 1 centimeters of hold under, and so on and so forth. And this could be memorized pretty easily. Next thing that you could memorize would be, what about when you're shooting at about 10 meters, which is pretty rare, but it could happen. And this could be also memorized. For a lot of guns, this would all be zeros, provided that your scope is mounted not really too high. But in this case, and at least for the time being, with my scope mount, there is going to be ones here, but my next scope mount, which is lower, here I'll have all zeros. And for 40 and 50 meters and so on, you could just refer to your chart, and you would have time at those distances to refer to your chart. So something like that could be put together for every single gun and every single pellet. I'm gonna put together a few of these for my gun at different degrees of temperature, at 0, at 10, and at 20 at least. 3 of these, because there is a difference at different temperatures. I tried it by shooting a lot of pellets at 70 meters at different degrees of centigrade, different temperatures. So I'm gonna have to have about 3 of these. But at these ranges of up to 40 meters, there's not really much of a difference. But my next range card is going to be something like this that I have already put together, and it is already on my rifle. And this is it. I have 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 meters of distance. And at these distances, in different temperatures, I mean, if there is like 10 degrees of centigrade of difference in the temperature, there is going to be differences here. It does matter to put together different range cards if you're shooting at these distances, which is something I have just embarked upon. I'm not at all good at this, but I'm just starting to do. Actually, I shot a crow at 60 meters the other day, and it was my first 60-meter successful shot. But anyways, this is my range card now. I know very easily that at different angles I'll have to hold 0, -1, 2, 3, 5 hold unders basically. And this is with field target trophy. I'm gonna immigrate to Sniper Magnum, H&N Sniper Magnum pellets, but for the time being with field target trophy, I'm gonna have to use this. And 2 or 3 of these for different temperatures would do the trick. At longer distances, you have time to refer to your range card, and at shorter distances, when you don't have time, you could just very easily and intuitively memorize this. I bought this range card also. I'm very happy with it. It's a cheap, lousy range card, finder. Pardon me. It's a cheap, lousy range finder, but I'm very, very happy with it, and I'm starting to like shoot professionally. I'm at the beginning of the way, of course, but I'm very happy with this one. I think a combination of this one and this good rifle is going to be a killer combo, provided that I practice enough. I guess that's about it. So my main point here was that this way, with this type of range card, You don't have to refer to your range card for every single shot. Instead, for shorter distances, when you don't really have time to refer to it, you could just intuitively memorize this very easily. And for longer distances, you have time to refer to this. And also, the important fact that a range card pretty similar to this could be put together for every single gun. That's what matters. It's not an accident that we have this pattern here. It happens in every gun. And I think, again, every shooter has to have one of these to be able to memorize it intuitively and use it practically. Thank you for watching.